Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
Uh, Good. I was like rushing because I have a little baby and my mom usually help me to take care of. So I had to
Yeah, yeah.
drive to her home every day. So I was
Oh,
driving, but I'm already here and ready. It's very early
yeah,
here. It's 7 a.m.
yeah, definitely. And it's really early. And just especially a mother of a baby. And it's
Mhm.
definitely, and same time, at what time you have to leave for school?
Um I have to we always start with a meeting with the teachers at 7:45. I meet with all the teachers and the principal, and then the classes should start at 8 a.m. So in an hour, I'm gonna meet my kids, my students.
Oh, great.
In an hour.
And let me check the attendance of my students.
Mhm.
Yes, slowly. I think within 2 or 3 minutes time, everybody will join.
Okay.
Meanwhile, could you please introduce yourself?
But myself?
Yeah, could you? Yeah, yeah. Will ca- yeah. Would you mind saying something about yourself and your teaching
Yeah,
career, your
sure.
teaching?
Yeah, well, I've been teaching for, I don't know, 15 years maybe or more. Um, I started like in the university in junior high, but then they offered me as a position as an elementary teacher, so I accepted, and then from there I jumped like last year from elementary to junior high. So right now I'm in junior high. I'm teaching seventh grade and eighth grade. The my subject is communication skills, and I meet my students like once a day, every week, once a day. So I have like they are having like 5 sessions per week. Right now in Mexico, we are using we're not going to school yet because it's kind of dangerous, still kind of dangerous to go. So we are meeting through Zoom, and we're using like different platforms. And yeah, I like a lot to teach and to be and help my students. And what else can I say about me? Well, I'm married. I have two girls. One is 13 years old, and I have a baby. And I have a baby. She's 10 months. 10 months. She's
Oh,
really little, and that's it. I don't know if you have a
good.
question.
We have some students going to ask you some questions. Would like to teach anything special for my students after the questions?
No,
Would you
well,
like to? Would you like to teach?
I have,
Would you like to
I
teach
have,
any?
yes, well, I
Yeah.
have something that I want to show you. It's one my students. Is the last topic that I saw with my students. Maybe that it can be helpful for you.
Okay. Here is
Do you
a
want me to
few.
start now?
Yeah. Here we have a few students. Niraja, would you like to ask question? Niraja, go ahead.
Hi,
Hello.
my name is Neeraja. I am studying ninth class. I want to ask a question, ma'am.
Sure.
Ex- Explain about your country education system.
About my country.
Education system.
The health system. Am I right?
Is asking about your education system. So how is like education in your country?
The education.
Yeah, education
Yes.
system.
Okay. Well, I'm from Mexico, and the education here. Well, the system education. It's We have like two different sections. We have the public section and the private. So I work for a private school, and the systems, the system is really different from one school to another school. So it that depends if it's public or if it's private. So it's really different. So we are trying to, there are things that we have to do because we're in the same country, but it everything depends if you are in a private school or in a public school. There are different subjects that you may have if you're in a private school, like like English in a higher level, or any other subjects that you like, religion, or um, like extra classes. But that really depends if you are in a public and a private. Um, I don't want to say that the public school is not that good, but I think we don't have a lot of resources. My daughter is attending a public school, and I can see that, and I'm in a private one. So there are a lot of different things, but I think it also depends on the students. If you want to learn, I think nowadays there are a lot of resources that you can use to improve your education. Mhm.
Yeah. So Nagalakshmi, it is your turn. Nagalakshmi, would you like to ask the question?
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, morning.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, enjoying, excited to see you. Mhm. Your question?
Nagalakshmi, ask your question.
My name is Nagalakshmi. My name is Nagalakshmi. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games. My question is, suggest some ways to improve my pronunciation skills.
How can you improve it? Is that your
Nagalakshmi,
question?
ask one more time.
Suggest some
Suggest
ways to improve my pronunciation.
pronunciation.
Okay,
Suggest some ways to improve my pronunciation skills.
how to improve it?
Yes.
How can you improve your pronunciation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I recommend you to do, you can do a lot of things. I think now that you're, if you have the opportunity, for example, to search like in the internet, you can listen to different songs, or you can try to watch like different types of movies. Recommend to use the captions at the bottom, and then you can be listening, and that's a really helpful way to improve your pronunciation. So every time you hear a word that you didn't know how to pronounce, just try to repeat it, maybe if you can, like out loud, and if it's not possible, try to do it in your mind. But I recommend you to watch a lot of, for example, videos, or there are a lot of things. It can be like any type of TV show that it's possible for you to watch, but try to pay attention to all the things that they're saying, and then just repeat them. Sometimes I pause the audio and then I repeat the word, and I think that would be really helpful for you, so you can improve your pronunciation.
Okay, that's good. That's good
Thank you,
suggestion.
ma'am.
And
You're
Nagalakshmi,
welcome.
how to follow these suggestions made by the man. Bhagyasri, it is your turn.
Yes, sir.
Bhag-
Hi, ma'am. My name is Bhagyashree. I'm
Hello.
studying 7th grade.
Hello,
My
how are you?
hobbies, I'm fine, ma'am.
Awesome. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies are reading books, playing games, ma'am.
Reading books. That's awesome. That's our today's topic, about books and stories. What type of books do you like to read?
Story books, ma'am.
Storybooks. That's awesome. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
How can I improve my vocabulary?
Vocabulary. I
Yes, ma'am.
think, are you reading books in which language? In your language, or do you have books, access to English books?
English books, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So I think you're on your way, because one of the ways to improve your vocabulary and to have more vocabulary is through reading. So as you're reading, maybe in each page try to look for a word or two, and then you can just be sure that you understand the meaning, and then maybe for that day or that week try to use that word. Try to use a word like, for example, in your class or in at home. I don't know, but sometimes it's difficult when we are learning a new language, and then maybe you're going to see more than two words that you don't know. So, but what I recommend you to do is just to try to understand the context, so you understand the meaning or what the author is trying to say to you, and then just try to research just to or try to look for just one word or two, because then if you look for all the words that you didn't understand, it's going to be maybe kind of frustrating, because sometimes you're going to have a lot of words that you didn't understand. So I recommend you just to focus on one or two, and then use those words. Use those words in your real life, so you can try um, to add it to your regular vocabulary. I think that would be a really helpful way to do it, and I think you're doing great. If you like to read books, I think you're going to improve your vocabulary, and you're going to have more variety really, really soon. So keep going.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Taslima, Taslima, it is your turn. Taslima, are you there?
Hi,
Yes,
ma'am.
Taslima, go ahead.
Hello.
My name is Taslima. I am studying 7th class. My hobbies are reading books, playing games. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Sure.
What should students learn first to learn tenses? Tenses.
Long tenses. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Janet, actually, let me explain to you. Before any student learns the topic consciously, what foundational knowledge should they have? So before they learn the topic consciously, is there anything that they need to learn before going to learn the tenses topic? That is what our question.
Okay. Is there anything that she
That they need
needs to learn?
that they
So
need to
she,
learn.
uh-huh.
For instance, the practical issue that as an English teacher I too confront many times. So if we introduce the tenses topic without teaching them the irregular verbs, the V1, V2, V3, V4, so definitely they will be in trouble. They don't understand the exactly the tenses. So before we teach them tenses, as a teacher, I have a practical problems like students unable to understand the V1, V2, V3 at the same time past, simple present, and even present perfect. So, what do you suggest? Do you suggest any particular material that students have to learn before they learn the topic tenses? Do you have anything in mind?
Okay. I could understand that question like really good. So I know that you're reading, and then you're looking for something so you can improve what the way that you write your sentences.
Yes, ma'am.
No, no.
Yeah.
Let,
No.
let, let me test that one, and I would like to just mm, yes, I think my thought box is not working. That's why I have a problem. Thought-
I'm sorry, just it's like kind of glitching. So that's why I couldn't understand. Or if you want to type it,
yes, I would like to type it here. This side.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because it just sometimes I cannot understand your question. Yeah, but there are a lot of things that you while you're writing out, I can explain like few things. If you want to improve your vocabulary, well, there's one option like you can. I think a lot of you are reading, and that's a really good way to improve your English and your communication skills. And yes, um, through writing, I'm going to show you something about writing today. So just try to go like little by little. Just be sure that you're writing sentences like first simple sentences. Oh, what should students learn before they learn tenses topic? Oh, verbs, I think, parts of a speech. Do you remember what are the parts of a speech? Like nouns, it tried to identify all the parts of a speech, like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and pronouns. So I think those the parts of a speech is super important before you go to tenses, because if for example in a simple sentence you must have, for example, a subject and a predicate. In a subject, you must have a noun, and then in a predicate, you must have a verb. But if you don't know the verbs, then you're in trouble. So you need to, I recommend you to start with the parts of a speech. And then with the parts of a speech, you can start to build your sentences. First, just simple sentences, and then just you can try to try to start to write like longer sentences. But first, just with simple sentences, parts of a speech is super important. Then I will continue with the verbs, try to understand regular and irregular verbs. And then, and then I think there are a lot of things that you can continue doing like simple sentences, compound sentences. But first, I think parts of a speech.
Okay, that's good information. And
Mhm.
as for next, Kali Krishna. Kali Krishna, it's your turn.
Hi,
Yes, Kali,
hi
go
ma'am.
ahead.
Hello.
Hi ma'am, my name is Kalishna. I'm studying ninth grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games. My question is, what is the best way to practice English conversation?
English conversation. We're doing it right now. I think if you I don't know, get together with someone or through Zoom or in class, maybe you can have a topic and then you can discuss about that topic to create debates in at school. Um, and try not to just keep the things simple, because sometimes um, you want to explain something with a really fancy words or with a really complicated words, and sometimes just keep it simple is better. And because you're learning, so I recommend you to just keep it simple, try to use easy words until you learn new ones, and try to, for example, you have brothers or sisters at home or friends. I think you can practice with them. Okay, at school we used to have an activity, and it was like a contest where kids, we asked everyone, students, elementary and everyone, to speak English everywhere. So even during the lunchtime or with other teachers, we asked everyone to speak English everywhere. And that was the name of the contest, like speak English everywhere, even if our native language is Spanish. But outside the classroom, we used to speak English everywhere. Like every time that we ask for something or during lunchtime when they get together, we used to speak English like everywhere. Mhm. So I recommend you to do that. Just try to speak English everywhere. Mhm.
Jagadish, Susmita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Susmita,
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Susmita. I'm studying ninth grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. To write discourses, what grammar topics should we learn?
To write discourses. Well, first to write, I think you have to, same as I was saying before, you need to first to practice parts of the speech, then go into sentences. Then I think you can write like different types of sentences and then put everything together. Then you have to learn connectors and how to, and I think you really need to know how to write a speech, like all the things that you need to know, because if you are trying to explain something or to persuade someone, there are several things that you need to know before, like special vocabulary or your introduction, for example, and then that at the end you have to finish your speech with something to close your speech. So I think there are several things that you need to know before that, like how to write simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, connectors, and especially you need to know how to write one, like the introduction, then the your arguments, your all the things that you want to explain, the examples, and then how to close all all your speech, how to end it. Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Is there any other question? No more questions? I can hear you.
Hi, ma'am.
Ramakrishna. Yeah.
Explain about your country education system.
No, Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna is supposed to ask this question because somebody has already asked the same question. So you can choose another question, and Jagadish, 6th class, you can go ahead and ask.
Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi.
So Jagadish, I think it seems that you have some problem with your network connectivity. So we have to find out another student. Jagadish, 9th class, are you still there?
Hi ma'am.
Yes.
Hi ma'am. My name is
Hello.
Jagadish.
Mhm.
I am studying ninth grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. How many subjects do your students learn at school?
How many? Well, there are a lot of students. I don't remember the number, but for example, we have in junior high we have 3 classes per grade. So in around 25 students, so that would be 75 times 3. So in junior high, I think we're like 250, 240. And in elementary level, then we have a lot of kids. And I think it would be like around 700 in our school, because we also have the pre-K. Mhm.
Janita, actually his question is how many subjects? How many subjects do your students?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he said students. How many subjects? Oh, we have like around 7 or 8. It depends on the grade. For example, in 7th grade, they have like the basics like Spanish, math, and common skills. They're also learning how to French. And for example, in 7th grade, they have biology and geography. But then in 8th grade, they have history, like world history and chemistry, I think. And then in 9th grade, so it depends on the grade, but they have around 7 to 8 subjects.
Yeah. Sai, do you have a question from your side? Sai. Okay. Janet, I have a question from my
Yes,
side.
sir.
Sai, yes, please go ahead, Sai.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Sai. I'm studying ninth grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
What is the role of tense in spoken English?
What are the what? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
What is the role of tenses in spoken English?
Hey, can you help me with the question in spoken English? But I didn't understand the question. Like, can you repeat your question? I can hear you.
What is the role of tenses in spoken English?
The roll up.
Tenses. Topic
Tenses.
tenses. Grammar topic tenses. What is the role of grammar topic tenses in spoken format? Because we don't, if we don't learn the tenses topic, we don't know how to express the past events, present event, even future events. So his question is, what kind of role does the topic tenses play in spoken format, the spoken English?
Oh, in the spoken English, I think it's anyway. It's super important because then at the time that you're speaking, you need to know. I mean, you need to express and at the same way as writing, you need to use the correct tense. So it's super important that you know how to use the verbs. So for example, I think the verbs are it's super important, but yeah, tenses it's also something that you need to know uh so you can communicate in a correct way.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think it's super important.
yeah. Jagdish,
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
still we have.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Gatu Jagdish. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hello.
ask one question, ma'am.
Okay.
What subject do you like?
What which subjects do I like? I really love history. I have a degree in history and from school, but when English, of course, communication skills, language arts, really. But I think my favorite subjects are like social studies. Social studies. I think that's my favorite subject. History and civics and all those subjects that are related to social studies. Mhm. Thank you for
Thank
asking.
you, ma'am.
Gen-
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you for
seems that
asking.
everybody, yeah, it seems that everybody had asked the question. Uh, so we have no more questions, but I have a question from my side.
Okay.
Uh, my question, my question is actually you and me working in the same as an English teacher. We are working.
Mm-hmm.
But my school, I think we have a problem. The problem is from except English teachers, nobody speak in English in the classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
even though we are running English medium classes, even though we are running the English medium classes, but except English teacher, nobody speaking English in the classroom. So this is the main
Okay.
reason for the maybe the students are unable to express their views in English because lack of poor exposure towards English. So within 45 minutes only, I can speak in English. I can expose them towards English language. But the rest of the periods, there is no exposure for them. So, what do you suggest as an English teacher if you were in my position, and what would you like to do? And do you have any plans to implement? Maybe do you have any kind of techniques to drag the students to speak English? Because most of the students are reluctant to speak English, and except my once the my period is over, once my class is over, comes to an end, they all switch to English. They all switch to their mother tongue. So this leaves them very poor in communication skills. So what do you suggest? What kind of techniques, what kind of maybe approaches you think better to implement in the classroom, especially the kind of the environment that we have in our school. Except the English teacher, everybody is allowed to speak their mother tongue, including mathematics teacher, science teacher, everybody. So, what kind of suggestions or what kind of advices you would like to give?
Okay, so remember that I told you that we used to have a contest. So there are several things that we implemented in our school because we used to have the same problem, the same issue. And for example, in elementary level, well, since kindergarten, they know that the teacher cannot speak for example, in our mother tongue, that is Spanish. They know that the teacher cannot speak not speak Spanish, just English. So every time they need to ask something to the teacher, they have to do it. They have to do it, or the teacher is not going to answer. So that's they're learning now in our school. They're learning since pre-K. Then in elementary level, um, they speak English like in the classroom. But we're trying to make them speak like everywhere because sometimes when they get together in a small group to work about a topic, they start to speak in Spanish, in another language that is not English. So what we're trying to do is to make them speak a little bit more. So we used to have like different types of contests. Sometimes I remember that we used to have like small consequences, like like a small punishment. Like if you speak Spanish instead of English, it's like one less minute in the recess. And well, we used to do that a long time ago. Then we started like giving prizes. So
Oh,
we start to making like this contest like speak English everywhere, and we really work. Now these days I think that's not the problem that we're having in elementary. We have that problem in junior high. Okay, in junior
mhm,
high, because they don't want to speak. It's not they don't know how to, they just don't want to. They don't want to do it. But um well, what I really recommend you to do, guys, is just to um try to practice at school, because I think for you that's the only place where you can improve your English. Because maybe if you go home, maybe you're going to be the only one who speak English there. But at school is I think that would be your only place where you can learn and you can improve your English. So that would be my advice for you. The teacher, yeah, all the teachers are struggling, like they want you to speak English, but it's up to you. Okay? It's up to you if you want to learn and if you want to improve. So you can learn how to read, you can learn how to write, but if you want to really speak with someone, I think you have to put more, a little bit more effort and speak in the class. And
Janet, Janet, actually, all the students who are right now, they are so keen to learn the language. They are so interested. So, but many students are still away from this Zoom class, but they are so reluctant because they don't know the exact importance of this particular language, English, and they don't know how important this communication is. So every time I ask them to speak English, yes, same problem. As once I leave the classroom, the same process. I they speak
Mhm.
mother tongue. So probably I have to think of
Okay.
something this seriously. Maybe I have to give them some incentives to speak English rather than giving them punishment. If we punish them, I think
Yeah.
they may reluctant to speak.
No, but now instead of something bad, maybe you guys, maybe they can give you ideas. Like, okay, like today, nobody's going to speak in another language, just English. And then if we all speak English in class, then we're going to, I don't know, maybe we can, it just, I don't know the type of prices that you can have in a school, but it doesn't have to be like something like a big prize or something that you had to buy. It can be like, I don't know, like going outside to play a little bit, like extra minutes to have our lunch or something simple. But I think they can also give you ideas about, I don't know, maybe to watch video or play music while we are working. So those type of prices, when I'm saying prices is, yeah, it's something like extra time for lunch or things like that. And I think they can give you a lot ideas. What do you want to have?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, Janet, we have only hardly 2 minutes time is left. So could you please give a final message to our students? Hardly 2 minutes time is left in this Zoom slot because this particular Zoom slot is free. That's why within 2 minutes time this Zoom session comes to an end. So
Mm-hmm.
could you please give a final message to my students?
Have a what? I'm sorry.
Could you please give a final message to my students? Hardly we have
Oh yeah,
two.
sure. Of course, guys. I'm so glad that you are attending school. That you can go and get together with everyone. So really, just try to have that in your mind. Now you have the opportunity to get together with people. So if you want to improve your English, so just keep that opportunity, keep it, and learn a lot. I'm glad that you all mentioned that you like to read. That's awesome because that's a really nice habit that you have. So, yes, try to do your best and learn a lot of things. Listen to your teachers and just like do your best. Try to always put your best effort. Just ask yourself, am I doing, is this the best thing that I can do? Is this the best piece of writing that I can write? Is this the best way that I can answer an activity? So just try to do your best. That's my advice for you, and thank you for being here, and just keep going.
Thank you so much, Janet, for sparing your valuable time. That's a very busy time. I know that you are very busy mom and busy teacher. And so we are so thankful to you for sparing your valuable time. And
Thank you.
I wish to invite you one more time in the future. And
Sure.
so
With
thank you
my
so much.
students, I hope. Yeah. Can we have a picture?
Yes,
I
please.
know that you're recording, but can we have a go?
I will send you. I will send you. Okay. Okay. Bye for now.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank
Bye.
you. So students, say
Bye.
bye
Have a
to
really nice evening.
students.
Have a nice evening. Good night.
Good morning.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.